Yo, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. 1.1 is quickly approaching, so I think that we got to talk about some things that need to come in 1.1. Whether it's throughout the patch, whether it's right in the beginning. Listen, I hope there's a live stream, and I hope they're going to address some of this stuff, but there needs to be some fixes. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is one of the most obvious ones, and that is the bugs. I'm a PC player, PC only, I don't play on mobile. My PC isn't like the greatest build, but I still have like really no problems. The only problem I'm seeing, the only bug I'm seeing is the Verena camera bug, where she keeps looking away from her opponent. It's super annoying, but it's not like Verena's on field often, so it's not like the biggest deal, but I would love for that to get fixed. But every time I see that, it's a constant reminder that there are still bugs in the game, and I know our mobile friends out there are struggling because apparently mobile is getting hit the hardest with the bugs. So for those guys that are still out there playing, despite that all, that you're incredibly patient. So hopefully in 1.1 these bugs are fixed, because the game needs to be playable. So I do feel really bad for mobile, but yeah, hopefully their bugs get fixed. Hopefully the Verena bug gets fixed, because again, that is just so annoying when you're trying to fight a boss, especially when it's timed and she just keeps looking the opposite direction, like she's scared of the enemy. Like, come on, Verena, man up, dude. Also, this isn't really a bug, but it's something I kind of noticed, and it's not like the biggest deal, but I would love for it to eventually at one point get fixed, especially since the combat in this game is a ton of fun and I want to get a bit more competitive with it. But I noticed that the aggro in this game is just weird. So I was doing the Tower of Diversity. My chat was telling me to improve my time, I should really go after the woman in the hood first, because she's giving everyone a shield. Now, when there's a lot of opponents, that's where this happens. When you're against a single boss, you don't notice it at all. It's not a thing. But against a lot of opponents, like getting your character to lock on to a certain enemy is super difficult. Like, I'm trying to get my character to lock onto her, and they were literally jumping over her to attack the person behind her. It made no sense, and again, since it's timed, it's pretty infuriating. Also, just attacking opponents randomly behind me, or like, again, skipping over people when you're not attacking the closest person or the person you're facing. So I don't know if that's just a me thing. Hopefully I'm going to find some clips from stream and kind of play them here so you can see what I'm talking about. But it, again, just super annoying. And again, when it's timed and you're trying to, you know, be strategic about who you take out, it's kind of important, and it kind of really messes up your time and your flow, and again, it gets aggravating. But at the same time too, I'm not in the biggest rush. You got to fix the bugs first, make the game playable in general, and then kind of look at that, because I mean, that's only going to really matter in the Tower of Adversity and when you're against multiple opponents. When you're in the regular world just running around collecting echoes, it really doesn't matter. You're just going to take them all out quick anyways. And you're against a single boss opponent, you're not going to notice that. But yeah, super annoying. Hopefully that gets fixed. Let me know in the comments down below if you're experiencing that as well, or if you noticed that, or if that is just a me thing, because that is entirely possible, because I'm not the best player. So it could just be something I'm doing as well. I don't want to completely blame the game on everything when some things might just be skill issue. The next thing is the echo leveling and tuners. Now we are going from like the biggest problems down to kind of like the smallest that we want to see in 1.1. The second biggest is the echo leveling. It is awful. It is atrocious. I mean, you need so much of those sealed whatevers in order to level an echo from 0 to 25. Now they made it great where you can just free grind the main stat of the echoes that you want, and that's awesome. But that doesn't do anything if you can't level them up. You know what I mean? That's like a big bottleneck, and it's a huge problem. And I'm not saying it needs to be like so abundant and just we have so much of the resource we can just level up every echo to 25, but you have to make it a bit easier. It definitely costs way too much, and on top of that, we get a disrespectful amount from tacit fields. So I think that we need to lower the cost of how many it takes to level up a echo from 0 to 25, and also increase the amount that we get from tacit fields. Now, I think tacit fields can actually be really nice if they're reworked a little bit. So again, if you give us more of the Echo XP, that would be very nice and super beneficial. We, again, get a very disrespectful low amount. It's insane. But also make it so it's a higher increase in the amount of 5-star 3-cost echoes. I've actually gotten some really nice 3-cost echoes that I'm using on characters right now, and I'm very happy with from tacit fields. It's been super nice, and it kind of would make grinding 3-cost echoes a little bit better, because you're able to get them while you're getting XP, and it just helps you build the character faster and easier. So I would really appreciate that. Stop giving us the 1-cost echoes with that. They're super easy to grind in the regular world. And also, like, a little bit less of the 4 stars, but, like, I get it. It's the same thing in Genshin. You get both 4-star and 5-star artifacts in Genshin, so I get it with the tacit fields as well. And then for the tuners, I actually think we get a good amount if we can turn our 4-star tuners into 5-star tuners. I'm never going to level up a 4-star, yeah, 4-star Echo. I'm never going to, so I don't need any of those tuners. I probably have over 1,000, I don't know. So you guys probably have the same experience. So if we can use them and turn them into 5-star, that's going to be so much better. I think per Tassifield run, we get 15, which is 1.5 tunings, whatever that is. So I think that that's kind of fine. And if you can turn the 4 stars into 5 stars, well, that's technically 2. You know what I mean? Or it can be 2.5. So I think that that could be really nice and, again, worth it. Because you do need some level of grinding in the game. We do need to use the Tassifields at some point. It does need to cost wave plates to build our characters. It can't just be completely free so we can endlessly grind. So we can endlessly grind and get god builds. There needs to be some level of pacing and some level of bottleneck, just not starving us, you know what I mean, of like the XP. With that being said too, if we can use our 5-star echoes as XP, I would love that. I think we all would love that. Please, 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 please allow us to use 5-star echoes as XP, because I have so many that are absolute trash that I don't want, and fusing them seems like an absolute waste. So I would really appreciate it. I think a lot of other players would really appreciate it if those kind of things were addressed, and that was kind of the way things were handled. Number 3, the VAs in the story. We've all kind of addressed it a little bit. I actually really like the Wuthering Waves story, something that not a lot of people talked about when I was coming to criticizing the story, which, again, no problem with. I'm not like engaged to these games. If people criticize them or have different opinions than me, it's okay, it's fine. I think criticism is really good, especially if you like the game, but you need to hold them accountable and have the game get better instead of just gaslighting the game and just being like, oh yeah, no, it's great, it's fine, and then it just sucks. You know what I mean? Because then the companies don't care. So I think that, you know, the community with Wuthering Waves is great, and so is Kuro Games. So it's been a great relationship, and I think it's going to help progress the game further. Now, there has been a lot of criticism and a lot of, you know, bad things and good things said about the story. One of the things I really enjoyed about the story is that it actually stays on point. Getch's story is like pretty good, but like the thing that I kind of hate about it is that the whole thing is that we fell from the sky, ended up on the beach, and now we're on our journey. We're only learning about the regions when we go to them. It in a way, has nothing really to do with our sibling in that kind of whole storyline. It's like the main storyline is really like the side quest. It makes no sense. It's not on point at all. No matter how good some of these region Archon quests may be, it's like, well, what's the point of it? And then they'll drop, like, at the end of a region, you know, the Dane quest, which is our sibling quest, which is actually the real main story. And sometimes, especially like the one in 4.7, I'm not gonna lie, feels really half-assed. There's a lot of problems with it where it didn't really make a whole lot of sense. You know, just kind of like if this is the main story, like, why are you treating it like some like half-assed, oh, we'll just throw it in to kill time type of thing? Now, Wuthering Waves, and the point I'm getting at, they actually really seem to stay on topic with that. Yes, we were talking about the region that we're in, and that was cool, but it was also deeply connected with the main character and kind of the main character story. I mean, what was it, like the first, like, second act, we ended up seeing that celestial being that we were first introduced to in the very, very beginning of the game as we're dropping in. I mean, we already saw her once. You know, we're already talking about our past and stuff. It's like, it's way more connected and on point. So I think that the story could be so much better, especially as it develops. Because let's not forget what the 1.0 Archon quest was in Genshin. It was, you know, the evil Abyss Mage and the Valen. So I feel like that the story so far is actually really good, and it seems like it's on topic and has a ton of potential. But people are right, the voice acting was not there. And the voice acting, in a way, could possibly really actually ruin the story, because it just kind of breaks that immersion. It kind of, like, you want to be locked in and kind of like feel the momentum of the story, and then when you just have that bad voice acting, it kind of just throws it off, because then you're not focused on what they're saying and what's going on. You're focused on, oh my gosh, he sounds awful. You know what I mean? Sorry, Yang. You know what I mean? You don't want to throw strays out there, but... So I'd love to see 1.1 they take the voice acting more seriously, because I do think that the story could definitely overtake Genshin's. Not saying that Genshin's necessarily bad, but when it's not on point, it's not necessarily as good as people said. So I think Wuthering Waves could actually like come out from left field and really improve on that, and really kind of surprise everybody with their story, because again, I thought it was very enjoyable. I thought that the character quests so far are also very enjoyable. Please, Kuro, keep them that length. We don't want 2-hour character quests. I think that the length that they are now is great, and I think that they are actually really enjoyable. Something I said from Yinlin's character quest is that villain, the Dollmaker, I don't necessarily know. He looked sick though. He looked like a really cool villain. Something a lot of people were saying is that like everyone looks like more mature. Like the guys in this game look sick, and I think the villains look better. So I think that you can have better kind of stories and storytelling, but you really need to work on that voice acting. So 1.1, definitely want to see that be something that they focused on and worked on improving. Next is the resin costs. The costs. I don't know why they did this. Everyone's kind of complaining about the resin or the wave plates, saying that, oh, we need more. When you have the, I forget, it's like the fragile resin of this game. It's like, it only gives you 60, and that's not enough. I'm like, that's plenty. And having 240 in the reserves, that's plenty too. What doesn't make sense is the cost of it. In Genshin, it is either 20 resin or it's 40. In Wuthering Waves, it's either 40 wave plates or it's 60. Why? Why is it just like more expensive? It doesn't necessarily make sense, because then, yeah, when you have that fragile resin or whatever and it gives you 60 wave plates, yeah, it's like that's not enough. And having 240 in the reserves is not necessarily enough. I get it. We're having 3 characters per team instead of 4, so you don't need as much resources to then build a full team. With that being said, though, you need 3 teams for the Tower of Adversity, and you have 3 teams of 3, that is 9. If you have 2 teams of 4 for the Abyss, that's 8. So technically, we need to build more characters for Wuthering Waves, which I want to anyways, because these characters are sick, and I want to build them and play with them. So hopefully we have the resources to be able to do that, but part of that is we need more wave plates, or we really just need to reduce the amount of the cost for these domains, for these world bosses, and etc. So if they do that, I think that would really help out and really kind of take away what people are so upset about. So instead of making domains 40, just make them 20. Instead of making world bosses 60, make them 40. And if we can have like a condensed wave plate type thing, that would be really cool too, because it would just speed up the whole process. I know for me, I'm building a lot of like Yinlin's talent material. I need that for her weapon. I think Baishi needs it. I think Varina needs it. So like I need a lot of it. I'm in that domain a lot, so I can just use a condensed and just get in there and get extra rewards. That would be sick. So that'd be something that would be nice. But lowering the wave plate cost, it kind of needs to happen. I don't know why it's more expensive like that, especially when you do technically need to build more characters in this game. And then lastly, but not least, the local legends. I don't necessarily know what they're called, but they're those badass, huge-ass mobs that are just wandering around that they're engulfed in like a red flame. They're usually level 120. Those are sick. Now, listen, Crow, I think that you guys are adding more. I could just be stupid. Probably am. I clinically am, medically. But I feel like when the game first started, there was like only a couple, and now there's like a lot. Like now there's a good amount. I don't know if they're like adding them in or I just didn't notice. I would love for them to keep doing that, but start boosting the difficulty of them. I think it's really cool seeing them around the map and be like, oh no, like I gotta stay away. Like I'm not prepared for that yet. You know what I mean? Like that takes some time. That takes some grinding. You really need to be on with your dodges. It takes a little bit of work, which is really fun. So it's those cool things where you see them and you're like, oh no, I want to stay away, or let's get this. Let's take that out, get that echo, and it'll be sick. So I think that having them evolve as the game evolves would be really cool, because when you fight them, it says, hey, it's stuck at level 120. As you progress in the game, it's not going to progress the difficulty like the world bosses. You know, they progress with difficulty as you progress in your level or your world level. So I think having higher like leveled of those like bosses or those local legends would be way cooler, because you're seeing people with level 50 characters take them out and they're level 120. You know what I mean? So I think eventually getting to the point where you have a level 500 would be so awesome. I also think when you get to that point and you have like level 90 characters and you're against a level 500 like Cocaine Bear, you know, being able to then also get some cool rewards from it would be kind of nice. And I'm not talking about anything like real fancy or like real insane or something game breaking. Something simple as like, okay, if you take on that level 500 Cocaine Bear, right? You have level 90 characters, still pretty difficult. You still get one shot, you end up fighting it, you beat it. You should just be able to pick it should be guaranteed 5-star, and you should just be able to pick the artifact set or the echo set that it's a part of. Because like the bear and some of the other enemies you face, they're part of multiple echo sets. And when you're trying to grind certain echoes or like 3-cost echoes, sometimes it's really annoying when you're not even getting the set you're looking for. Again, that's just part of the game, that's part of the grinding. I'm not upset by that. But like having that little bit of flexibility or like picking and choosing when you take on something that strong would be really nice. And the reason why I'm not saying, oh, you should be able to pick the echo set and the main stat is because you can probably fight this thing more than once, and that would be kind of broken because you'll have an unlimited like 3-cost glitch. So if you're able to just pick the echo set it's a part of, you can keep fighting it multiple times, guarantee the echo set for that really strong echo, and then yeah, hopefully you get the right main stat that you're looking for. But I think that evolving those local legends as the game progresses would be really cool, because I think they're a really nice addition to the map. I think the amount of them is really nice, because again, you're wandering around, you're exploring, you're having fun, and then, oh no, I either got to stay away or like, all right guys, let's take this thing on. This is a nice challenge. I think they're really cool. So I'd like to see them progress or evolve as the game evolves, because if you're taking them out with level 50 characters, yeah, they're going to be really, really easy soon, even for players that aren't that skilled. So having stuff like that I think is awesome and really cool. And I think the holograms too are kind of like that challenge for now, because I forget what level they end up going up to. I think I saw, but they look like they are a little bit kind of like endgame in a way. So seeing stuff like that would just be really cool. Some stuff that's more challenging content that you can either choose to take on or just ignore, and it really doesn't matter. So that's it. That's the things I think that I would really like to see in the community, would like to see in 1.1. I really hope there's a 1.1 live stream. If that is the case, you can expect a 1.1 Wuthering Waves breakdown video hours after that thing drops, where we'll be going through the whole thing, what we like, dislike, and what we needed. But everyone's saying 1.1 to make it or break it. I absolutely love this game. I'm playing this game regardless, but I definitely can see how if some of these things aren't addressed and aren't fixed, you're going to be losing a good amount of your player base. I mean, these mobile players, they are patient, but for how long? How long do you expect them to be patient for? This echo system, hey, like, it's tough to level them up. I don't even have a character with full level 25 echoes. I'm working on that. I'm close. Probably by the end of the week I'll have it, but that's rough. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you're looking forward to 1.1, and hopefully you're enjoying the game. If there's anything else that you think that needs to be added in 1.1, let me know. If anything that you agree with, let me know. But that's it. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and peace.